So here we are at Casebrook Intermediate here in Christchurch.
My name is Lynn and I'm from Casebrook Intermediate, and the presentation has helped me think about the 13 habits and has helped me find my passion.
Hi, I'm Christina and I really enjoyed today's presentation because it helps me think later in life, and it will definitely help me in investing. It just completely clears my mind, so thank you.
Hello, I'm Joseph and I'm from Casebrook Intermediate, and we're here at Casebrook. The Student Council got a chance to hear Lucas's talk, and we'd really like it if a corporate sponsor could sponsor us and get every child a book.
He was just making money so he could buy more film to make movies every Sunday. So he had a whole lot of friends. And so what did he actually find? He found his passion. Now, how good has that worked out for Peter Jackson? Anyone know how many million Peter Jackson's worth?
10?
No. 70? He's worth 580 million, Sir Peter Jackson, according to the last NBR. Now, what do you think works better, finding a job or finding your passion? Passion, yeah, that's interesting. So what do you think rule 2 would be, step 2? We don't have to play hangman, come on, I was doing it.
Write it down.
Write it down, absolutely. What's the next rule after that?
Say it aloud.
Say it aloud, absolutely.
Then, do it.
Yeah, what does Nike say?
Just do it.
Just do it. So it's action, it's about the action, isn't it? It's not about, hey, I'm going to dream of being a millionaire. He got out there and he was delivering newspapers every morning. In fact, by the time he was 13, he had 3 newspaper routes. So the very first time he got a real big opportunity delivering newspapers, he got to deliver them to 3 apartment buildings. And he got up at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So it takes action, it does take hard work, it doesn't just happen. So just doing it takes action. You're going to have to change some of your habits. Now you can have any habit that you want. There is nothing stopping you. If you pick 5 people you really admire, you want to be a soccer player, if you go to the library and get 50 books out on famous soccer players, will there be one book that you go, wow, that is just the best? Or there'll be 2 or 3 you go, wow, they're really great books? Now if you got that book from a superstar, a really famous player, and you worked together with your coach, and you created yourself a plan, and you wrote down, who would you like to play for if you could play for anyone?
Manchester.
Manchester? So if you wrote down your dream and said, look, I'm going to be Manchester's so-and-so striker or player or goalkeeper. And if you start saying that aloud morning and night, twice a day, and if you get into your plan together with your coach and work on it every week, and if you're in the habit of changing your habits, you're going to have to change some habits. But if you read 50 books, pick out the 5 best and really focus on the 5 best and figure out what the habits are of the best goalkeepers on the planet, then you could create those habits yourself too, couldn't you?
Yep.
And so, whatever you want to do, is you can have any good habit you want in whatever you want to do. There's nothing stopping you. Warren Buffett is, how many hours a day do you think he spends reading? Yeah, so 8 to 12 hours a day he'd be reading. He reads 5 newspapers a day, 3 annual reports. Now all he does is like being here right now, sharing these ideas with you, challenging you to think differently. Because if I can get you to think differently, it's like letting a genie out of a bottle. You can never put it back in, it's out. You see what I mean? And so once you realize that you can be anything you want to be simply by having clear goals, writing them down, saying it aloud, getting into the action, and then figuring out what habits do you need. You know, just following this formula, you can achieve anything in your life that you want to achieve. I think this is the most crucial issue, because when people look at Warren Buffett, they think about shares, investment in shares. They don't see this issue, because this is the crucial issue. When you're 82 years old and you're worth 44 billion, do you still have to go to work?
No.
You're given 99% away and he could still be comfortable for the rest of his life. So it's about that, isn't it? That's what it's really driving him. That's why he goes to work. He loves going to the office. He goes to the office on Sunday.
Why did you choose this man to model this?
Okay, I started 15 years ago. I started as an investment advisor, helping people get started saving for their retirement, like KiwiSaver. Who's in KiwiSaver? So, getting people to start with those kind of savings plans. So that was my job. I'd go around different businesses and talk to people and get them started. And I thought to myself, look, if I could ask anyone for advice, who would I ask? And only one person ever made it on my list, and his name is Warren Buffett. And then I thought, well, he's not my neighbour, so I can't knock on his door and talk to him about this. So I thought, well, what can I do? So I went to every library. I was living in the Waikato, and I went to the university library, I went to the local library, I went to the Hamilton library, and looked for every book I could find on Warren Buffett, and I found 4. And 3 I thought were rubbish, and 1 was good. And that's how I started. Now I've got over 20 books on Mr. Buffett. There's over 50 available, probably 52 now, because of my books. And so I just started reading about him, and just slowly, and then when I saw people at the other end of the spectrum who were retired, who were like 75, 80 years old, grey-haired, and I saw them vaporise their retirement savings through not reading and thinking. They vaporised their savings in places like Bridgecorp in South Canterbury, and that was 6.8 billion just in New Zealand. And I went, well, what's wrong here? And I realised that we don't talk enough or teach enough of this kind of stuff in schools. And that's why I'm on my bike. I thought, look, if I get on my bike, slowly people will start to realise how important this is, and we need to teach this as a core subject like maths and English. That this has to have a reasonable amount of time devoted to it in primary school and intermediate to get kids starting to think. And it's so easy, these habits. It's such an easy concept. This is not complicated. This is not rocket science.
So have you approached Mr. Buffett to financially help along the way?
I've never asked him for money. He did say I could use his name, and he doesn't ask me for anything. He doesn't tell me what to do.